Looks like you're awake.
Uh-huh. Is this the infirmary?
Why are we here?
Do you know what happened at the AB gate?
What?
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but...
We waited and waited, and the two of you never returned.
Okay.
So we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Alright. Makes enough sense.
Kay and I hurried back here with you.
I looked over at Fi and met her eyes. Now we remember everything, I guess. Do you remember what happened just now?
You mean what happened a long time ago?
Yeah. Yeah. You got him pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I remember all right.
Nice.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Oh shit! He's awake! Which means Alice has to be too, because she would have woken up first. Quark! Captain Quark!
What am I? Top liver?
Yes, you are. Alice!
Back among the conscious and not psychotic, huh?
Yeah, thanks. Grandpa told me what you did.
Oh yeah? How I went to all those other timelines to try and save you? Try and save your sorry ass? More so Alice's, but
Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
yeah, it wasn't as bad as in the other pathway. No problem. All in a day's work. Although, I wouldn't mind a little swimsuit action this again.
Really grabbing at straws here, aren't you?
Hey, I wasn't talking to Quark. That was an offer for Alice.
Not really my point.
Oh, whatever. Forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we gotta do is open the number 9 door.
Oh? Huh?
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
Oh, they already played the 9 game a bunch of times then, I guess. It says 10! I have 10 BP! Also, I'm somehow a pair now. So the groupings do change, I guess, after each round of the AB game. It has nothing to do with if you're going through more chromatic doors or not. Because I didn't know that, but now I know. Alright.
I've got 15 BP? That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
Yep. But how?
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours. We've played the AB game 3 times.
Well, that saves some trouble. 3 times?
Yes. Of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time.
Uh-huh.
But no matter who voted, everyone chose Ally.
Oh boy. That's just great. Uh-huh. We already saw this. Yeah, I know.
And now all of us have enough to leave.
Oh boy! Even Dio! Hooray! I guess he was never a solo. I was stunned. How had everyone cooperated long enough to raise all of our BP past 9? Was it because Akane hadn't been killed? Without a death to start things off? Maybe we've been less suspicious of one another. Or could the bombs have had something to do with it? We'd all joined forces against Dio, and Fi and I had been able to disarm all of them. All of us had banded together against a common enemy and overcome a tremendous threat. Perhaps that had strengthened our bond. Which, I had to admit, would be somewhat ironic. Oh? After all, Dio had planted the bombs that forced us all to work together against him. This must have been what Akane was talking about.
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
Okie dokie.
Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
One thing we have to do first, before that. Wait. What about him? After some discussion, we decided to leave Dio behind. Okay, not quite the same as the first game then. Alice was the only holdout. She'd complained about wanting to take him back to her superiors, but after I mentioned they'd come back to investigate after we escaped and deal with Dio then, she reluctantly complied. Okay, makes sense.
Alright, let's get going.
One more thing we have to do first though, isn't there? In fact, a couple more things I would think. The key! What about the key? Are we really all just leaving? You sure? Don't go yet! Everybody ready? No, we have to use the key, right? Because isn't that inside the facility? I want to say it is. We have to go use it. Don't we? We can't leave yet. I'm gonna open it.
Yes, just get on with it.
No, really? Are you sure? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Everyone else swallowed and nodded. I grabbed the lever and pulled it down. Well, too late now. Oh boy.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
I'm surprised Dio is still out of it. Maybe they... Well, wait. They injected him with something, right? So, still though, is it really going to keep him out for that long? I guess. Alright everybody, let's move! All working together! Hooray! I didn't need to tell them twice. The room inside was clearly a loading elevator. It looked sort of like a large plate on top of a huge pedestal. Of course, we've already seen this in the Dio pathway. We ran to the center of the plate and turned around. The number 9 door stood wide open.
2, 1, 0. The number 9 door is closing.
So what's the key for? I thought it was for inside the facility. I could have swore it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Or is there a locked door before we leave? Maybe that's it? Maybe. I don't know. I thought there was a locked door inside the facility, but maybe it's not there.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
So yeah, I'm not saying anything. I finished Death Parade. It was fun. I enjoyed it. The ending was kind of there. It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing.
Looks like we did it.
I liked episode 8 and 9 a lot. It was cool seeing, you know, that kind of look at the series. But, yeah, we did it. So I wanted to start talking, but hey, I guess I should have started talking sooner or never. But, yeah, we did it. We all did it together.
Yes, we should keep moving.
Let's. Beyond the door was a wide hallway that ended in a very solid wall. To the left, we found a very familiar looking door. We pushed it open and went in. pressure exchange chamber.
You know what this place is?
Yeah, sort of. This whole facility is pressurized, apparently. I think the idea is to keep the air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. That means that if we want to go out, we have to decompress so we match the outside air pressure. This room here is where you prepare for going into the actual pressure exchange room. You see all those suits along the wall? I figure we need to put those on and head to the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Hold on a minute!
Oh?
You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Of course, according to Akane, we were all already infected with Radical 6, so the whole room seems a little pointless.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they...
No. That's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
Alright.
All right.
No one else objected. We all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. As soon as we were all inside, the process began. Through my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. So we're really doing this? I thought for sure we'd be going I thought the whole point would be going way back in time to before the virus ever got spread, and we'd be stopping it, and that would be like the end game part or whatever. And then we jump back to the future and everything's all happy or whatever, and Junpei and Akane lived happily ever after or something. I don't know. But, maybe not? We stood there for several minutes, waiting for the process to finish. Because for all we know, in this timeline, Junpei and Akane have been living happily ever after. We don't know. So, because we haven't talked about it in this timeline, I don't think. Which means we don't know. Like I just said. So, they very well could have. Which means when we step outside, though, if it's virus infected, then we'll know. I mean, we've already seen the timeline. I guess we could change it, but the point is, I thought we'd be doing that, maybe we're not doing that. Or maybe we are. At last it did, and we'd heard the door begin to open. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it. The dead, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors of their helmet, I heard more than a few gasps over the radio. For a few long moments, we just stood there, astonished, and I played along.
Where the hell are we?
This is familiar, isn't it, Clover? I guess this whole experience is familiar, but hey.
The desert, I guess?
Again.
I figured that out. I mean, which one? I don't know, but I think I know what day it is. Look at the moon.
Indeed. Just what we expected.
It's red, right?
But only 50 years later.
That means today's the total lunar eclipse. So? Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was going to be on December 31st, 2028.
Akane said nearly half a century, so I'm not sure if it's going to be 2078 right now, or 2077 or what, but around there.
So? Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
We some of us were actually sleeping for half a century, but yeah.
I think so.
Whenever... Oh, I thought you said whenever. That would have been appropriate. Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was clearer than I'd ever seen it. And the stars, the sky was full of them. More stars than I'd ever seen in my life. I could even spot the hazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive. Much bigger, in fact, than I remembered it being. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface. Oh shit. It was hard to see details, but it looked circular. The spot continued to move across the moon, heading for the right edge. What's that?
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
Oh. The moon's shadow? I frowned. That didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet.
Oh?
I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation.
On my operation, you mean? So you're all part of the plan this time.
He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too. And I agreed, like an idiot, and brought Quark with me. Just so I could see her. Such an idiot. So, that being the case, might as well start with this.
Oh?
I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
Oh? What the hell are you saying? Are we on the moon? Or something? Or something? Or are we on Mars? Right? Something like that? I don't know. I think they were talking about us being on another planet at some point.
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
That's Earth?
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse.
Oh shit.
Then again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse.
Oh, double shit. So, alright, it's a solar eclipse. Okay, does that matter? Maybe.
Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
Cool. What? No, no way! If that's the Earth, then where the hell are we?
The moon, of course.
What? Of course.
This is the lunar surface.
Oh shit. And he knew all along? I guess maybe he grew up on the moon, I don't know.
We were just inside a moon base. No way. No, you've gotta be lying.
So there wasn't the virus we were protecting ourselves from. It was the moon's air that isn't good for our breathing, I guess.
How do you expect us to believe that?
Because it's the truth.
This can't be the moon. Yeah. That's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon, how do you explain the gravity? The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. So what's this?
She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See? That looked perfectly normal. Yes, it looked that way.
Luna? Ah, Luna, moon, I get it.
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth.
Oh shit.
Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but... Excuse me? What? Please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelivir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while. What symptoms? Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6.
Oh shit, that's right. Then it would look that way. Cool.
It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed. Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed. As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's.
That's neat.
The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases. I guess that's a little technical. Let me give you an example. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters.
I think we already get it with the rock example, but whatever.
It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground.
Uh-huh.
On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds.
Uh-huh.
I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything. The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense? So, now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6?
So, if we all have it, does that mean we've all been talking in, like, slow motion or something? And maybe that's why it feels like time is moving by faster? Unless... I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. I guess. So we've all had Radical 6, the symptoms, but we didn't necessarily concoct the super bad symptoms, except for the people who did. But then in that case, our brain powers got even worse? I don't know.
To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2. But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us.
Oh shit.
Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity? Are you sure you didn't notice anything?
Well, Phi jumping higher than she should have really been able to, I guess. For one thing.
Think back. Huh? You and Sigma and Phi said something about it in the lounge.
Oh?
About how you felt weird? It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that?
Yeah, exactly like that. That's trippy. It seemed insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, it explained Phi's apparently superhuman strength quite well.
Wait. This is crazy.
Yup, and crazy is real. That is kind of funky, though. I didn't think about that, so... That's neat. I guess that's a plot twist I didn't see coming, but that's not a real twist. I mean, that's kind of like exposition twist, but it makes things make sense, so that's nice. And it is something I didn't see coming, but if there's a real plot twist I didn't see coming, that would be much better.
That can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth, and it's blue and green and beautiful. That thing is just red.
Is that what Earth looks like now, I guess?
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something. This isn't New Year's Eve in 2028.
Uh-huh.
Today is January 27th.
Okay. In 29?
No.
Don't tell me. 30?
Nope.
Still no.
Just what year is this?
It's 74. 2074.
Oh shit, 2074. So, yeah, almost half a century. I wonder if there's a reason they picked that year. Probably. 78 would have been the full half century, but meh. No. That's insane. That would mean we were abducted more than 45 years ago.
I don't blame you if you don't believe me, but it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074.
Oh. Okay.
Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time. That's just science. Nobody can change that.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world.
Alright.
On the 13th, all 18 of them went up, all at the same time.
Uh-oh.
The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
What? Why?
I suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada.
Oh? You couldn't be talking about the same facility, could you?
On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident.
Oh? December 31st, 2028. That's after we were abducted.
Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. And the point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped.
I think we heard something about this on a radio transmission, but that was a while ago, so I don't remember it.
Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world. Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up.
Okay.
Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, the classics.
The classics. Wow.
But for some, it was poison, or fire, or asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground.
Nice.
Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation.
That sucks.
Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that.
Okay.
After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another.
Alright.
They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There was only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6?
Uh-huh.
The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth and that'd kill the virus off for good.
But? Question mark?
On April 13th in 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors.
Wow, that's a big deal. Okay. I guess they were that desperate.
Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened.
Oh?
But I've got my own theories.
Okay.
I think that the bombers had already been infected.
Oh, okay.
And when they died, they took billions with them.
Alright.
The ultimate if I die, you're coming with me gesture, I suppose. I bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors.
Well, that's a shame.
Killing most of the world, no matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan.
I thought there was some kind of plan to get people off the Earth first, but I guess not.
Even if it wasn't directly responsible, Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. Point is, it happened. You ever heard of nuclear winter? Well, that's basically what we got.
Okay. Actually, I haven't heard of that, but sure.
The explosions threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years.
Well, that's fun.
Plants withered and animals died by the millions.
Okay.
The few humans who were left banded together to survive. They were rough times. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back.
Alright.
Plants started blooming again, and the animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air.
Okay. And that's why it looks red?
That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing.
Oh, shit.
Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
Neat. I was speechless. What could I possibly say? There was no reason for Tenmyoji to lie to us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074. But why? Why were we there? Why were we then? I was so lost in thought I barely noticed Phi's approach.
Hey, Sigma.
Yeah?
I think I figured something out.
Oh? A window popped up on the inside of my helmet with Whisper in the corner. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
Oh? An extra E in Nineth? Oh, you mean the graffiti?
Yeah, the one on floor B.
Alright.
I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
Oh, really? Are you sure? I mean, come on, that's the first thing I thought of when we got there. How did you not think of that? Gosh dang it. Then what's it an anagram of? Oh, blech. Yeah. What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma.
What? It's not that much of a joke.
Knock it off.
Just tell me then.
Memento mori if the ninth lion ate the sun.
Uh-huh.
If you rearrange the letters, you get...
So you were instant on the first one, but this one took you forever? Okay, fine. Jeez.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time. So I am the ruler of the infinite time, I guess? Alright.
See? You need 6 E's to get that.
Okay. Then I would think that would have been easier to figure out than the first one. I mean, come on. Like, this one, there's a clear giveaway. Whatever.
So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
Alright. The man on the moon rules the infinite time?
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AP project for one purpose. To transport the consciousnesses of 2 people into the past. Those 2 people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
Okay. So, what are you getting at?
My god, you're slow.
Okay.
You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time.
It said the man on the moon, actually, so, and you're no man, so I think it's talking about me. No offense.
Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours.
50 years, or 45.
I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're gonna send us back 45 years?
Yeah. I'd bet on it.
Yeah, I saw this coming. So, the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Temioji was talking about.
I think so.
That doesn't make sense, though. Why not? I mean, we came from that same time period. Before it, actually. So, why bring us here and then send us back? That's a good question. Maybe because we need to experience this stuff? We need to be able to go to multiple timelines? We need to disarm all the bombs at the same time or something? Or, wait, maybe? Or something? I don't know. Something like that. Nah.
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest.
I guess.
Let's go pay her a visit.
Alright. Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea.
Oh, really?
Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
Oh, the grave! Oh, I completely forgot about the grave. But okay, fair enough. The one in the garden!
Well, come on, what are you waiting for?
Alright, I guess we're just gonna go back in then.
Let's go.
We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber. The others following close behind. Okay. They're just gonna go along with us?
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
Kind of? We're gonna go have a talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all this.
You mean Akane?
How do you know about that? Did I already mention it? What?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
I guess you got your memories back.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
Because she was his mother figure, kind of.
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please. I'm coming with you.
Yeah, I would think so.
You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going to then.
Is everybody just gonna end up coming now?
So am I.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah. You know her real well.
Wait, you're not...
They're putting the dots together.
You're serious? What the hell is going on?
Did she realize that this is Junpei? There's not an obvious giveaway. Nah. Arrgh, shut up! Just shut up, come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. And then... How much is left? I'm just really curious now how long is left. Like an hour, 2 hours? What? I don't know. I feel like how much exposition... Like, it depends on how much exposition they're gonna give us. Are they gonna give us this whole Junpei story, or... I don't know. Are we gonna get some big... Like, yeah, it really does depend on how much exposition we're gonna get. Because I have a feeling I know where this is going and how it's gonna end. It's just, how much are they going to exposition to us in the middle? I could be wrong about how it's gonna end, but... I'm not quite sure how they're gonna do it, but we're definitely gonna go back in time to the 45 years before.
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor B...
Aha! That's right. Cool.
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Neat.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yeah. The grave.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Indeed. Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. Anyway, let's move. To the garden! Time for the key.
Is Akane really under here?
Yeah, I guess? Or maybe not. Maybe we'll use the key and some magical place will open up. I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I have a key. No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole in the grave? If I just insert this here. I pulled the key off my ankle and fit it into the keyhole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. I'm surprised you never noticed the key, though. I mean, really? Like, how is that even possible? I don't know. Whatever. She's in there?
What is this?
Really? Okay, I guess she's in there. Treatment pod.
It doesn't look like a coffin.
So there's a fourth treatment pod. That explains things then. So it wasn't just like it's Clover, Alice, me, and Phi then that were sent into the future. There had to be 4, yeah. Because I mean, Luna's a robot. Quark, Temioji, and DOR and K, I guess, are all from this time. So yeah, there had to be 4. So now that we've seen a 4th, it all makes sense, I guess. Doesn't look like a coffin. Yeah, what she said.
Yeah. It's a treatment pod.
Oh my god.
It is, isn't it?
The glass in the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
Ah, the number 0 pod. Guess it makes sense. There's a number 0 lock, there's a number 0 pod. What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1. Defrosting complete.
Okay. TP.
Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Guess we have some time to talk.
Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Alrighty then. Right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
I guess. I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay?
I'm more interested in Junpei's, but whatever.
Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9.
Alright. I know I've heard that name somewhere before in this game, but whatever. I think it was in one of the floor plans or something, in one of the... I don't know.
A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome.
Alright.
Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Alright. 9th one, I get it.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior.
Alright.
I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Aw, Junpei's gonna be sad he's left out. Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
Oh? What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population.
However?
But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much.
Oh yeah?
By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning.
Alright. That's usually the best place.
You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this,
Okay.
but that's not entirely correct.
Oh?
They only followed the histories they'd already seen.
Uh-huh. Yep. That's what I said. But wait a second. I know I'm seeing this. I'm Sigma, but what about Akane? Was she here? Or no, I guess she could have seen this in her own premonition. Even if she wasn't here, she could have seen it in her premonition, like she did in the first game, so I suppose.
It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories.
Alright.
That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary.
Alright.
By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps.
We've already been through this, but okay.
We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories.
Uh-huh.
The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension. That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan.
Uh-huh.
By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential.
We've already been through all of this, so why do we have to see this exact same spiel again? It's from a cooler voice, mind you, but it's the same thing.
With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Uh-huh.
Wait. Hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi,
Uh-huh.
but what about the rest of us?
Well, it's similar to the first game, I guess. You were the key factor, Junpei, in the first game, but everybody else had to be there because they were there in the premonition, and that's kind of the same thing here, I guess.
Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories.
Uh-huh. Same shit as in the first game. Junpei should know all about this.
Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you.
Really? Is there a better one? Because that one is pretty bullshit.
In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I suppose I should explain. Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028.
Alright.
The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction.
Okay. She had a facility under her direction at that age? Wow. This is...
You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep.
I wonder how Santa plays into all this. That's what I'm curious about.
4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029.
Okie dokie.
Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine.
Okay.
Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yup.
Yes. In preparation for this day.
But why?
What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past.
And Clover's point is?
Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power.
Alright, I guess that makes some sense.
You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
And Alice?
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Alright. Wait, why did we need her for Dio's bombs?
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind.
I see. Alright, so everybody did have some purpose.
Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were able to determine that Dio had planted the bombs.
Even though I already knew about that from another timeline, and I had to have been to that timeline first. And that timeline is where Phi was there, because she already knew about the zero bomb, so, I don't know, time paradox. It would have been much cooler if this was the timeline where we discovered that Dio was the bomber, but no, we would have already had to have known before coming to that timeline, so that's why it's kind of dumb, and I think they definitely could have handled it better. But whatever, we move on.
Then we were able to question him, and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline.
Got some text and voice mix-up. We used that information to stop the detonation in this timeline is what it says, but that's not what he said. Whatever.
Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence.
Because of all our presences.
Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here.
Alright.
All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
Well, you're kind of helping save the world, I guess.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you.
But he was necessary too, right?
I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you.
Quark's a cool kid, I like him.
I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship.
Who was the messenger? That's something I'd like to know.
It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, it headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Alrighty.
Now, Dio.
So, wait, is there no reason that Quark had to be there? Quark didn't need to be there at all? Is that what we're going with? Okay, I guess Quark didn't need to be there. He just happened to be there. Okay.
His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
Myrmidons, damn it! Myrmidons!
He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago.
Kinda thought as much. It only makes sense.
Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released.
Okay.
If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization.
Uh-huh.
Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward.
Okay.
That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility.
Of course, he's all part of the plan.
They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project.
I thought he was just going to kill the first person who came out and then take their place.
The second was to join the AB game and win it.
And what about the bombs?
If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline.
Uh-huh.
In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped.
Hooray.
If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Alright.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
Maybe he was all part of the plan. I don't know.
He was also an Esper.
Oh.
We can set Brother aside for now, though.
Oh shit, is Brother gonna be important? Like really important? Like, is he someone from the casts? Oh shit, who is that gonna be then? I don't know anybody that could it be. Oh my god, this is a plot twist I'm not gonna see coming? Maybe. Who could it be? Ace or something? I don't know. No, Ace was working for Brother, wasn't he? Oh shit. Anyways. We can set Brother aside for now, though. I'm excited. Maybe this is a plot twist I won't see coming. Maybe it's gonna be 7. He's the evil mastermind. I don't know.
May I proceed?
Alright. No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save 2. Luna and myself.
Uh-huh. You were here to give us the passwords, right?
Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves, at a later time. Would that be alright with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Okay.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
It's me! Dun dun dun. But I think we've all figured this out by now.
You've already met him, Sigma.
I have? Well, oh yeah, in the projection, but it's also me that is Zero Senior, blah, 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 so whatever.
In another timeline.
I've also looked in the mirror, so I know myself, thank you very much. Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete.
Do they really think us as the players don't realize yet that Sigma's Zero Senior? I mean, come on.
TP00 unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get started then. Ready?
Yup. Phi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Anytime.
Alright, here we go.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh boy. Oh, I didn't see that coming. I thought this was gonna be Akane. This wasn't Akane. Oh shit. Okay. Alright, so what's going on here? Let me try and think if I can figure this out. I mean, I guess K is already my clone, and I know that. So, I know that K is my clone. Does this mean I have a second clone? I know my consciousness is going back in time at some point. Maybe then I become Zero Senior, and this guy's gonna somehow factor in, or... I don't know. I guess there's 3 Sigmas, not 2. Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. Well, yeah, I remember that K was another Sigma, but K's already with us, so... I guess there's more than 2 Sigmas. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of Floor B. In front of the white door. K was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw... my own face. I'd never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath K's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tuberculin, and that was the end of that. But wait. If the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse... Who was wearing K's armor? Oh my god, is Akane wearing K's armor? What? And she's using a voice modifier? Wait, whoa, that would be trippy. Would that mean Akane's been wearing K's armor this whole time in this timeline? Whoa! That would be fucking bananas.
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone.
Oh, shit. So, when I said we're getting the same exact speech, at least it was from a different voice, that's all it was from. It's the same exact person. Really? You need to give us the same speech twice? Really? Really, Akane? Really?
I will be at your side, watching over you.
Well, that's just dandy. Now I'm gonna have to replay through this whole damn pathway and watch all the times K does things and be like, so that's Akane. But, meh. No. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
Akane Kurashiki.
Okay, so that's a very minor plot twist that I didn't see coming. I mean, so she was in K-Suit all along, that's crazy and all, but, not a big plot twist. There's still so many big ones I haven't seen coming yet.
It's you. June! I mean, Akane, from... But you're old.
It has been half a century, Clover, with you in cold storage, but she was not.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
And there we go, we finally learned that he's Junpei. Great. Plot twist? Not really.
Junpei?
Akane. Long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
From that moment, I guess.
Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did, at least.
Uh-huh.
I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room, and then took Dio's to the 5th.
Uh-huh.
After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
And, since the first... That's trippy, though, because it's like, in some pathways that's Akane, and others it's K, because... that's when it gets kind of weird, and I don't like it, but... Finally, the first pathway I ever went into was the one where I sided with Alice. I chose Alice, which means during that pathway, Kay was Akane. So, the first time I ever saw Kay, it wasn't Kay. It was Akane all along. Dun dun dun. Done, I guess. It's kind of trippy to think about that, but it's like depending on which choice I make, which door I go into, Akane is either alive or dead. Akane is either in the armor or dead in the AB room, depending on the door I choose. Which is so trippy and doesn't really make sense, but it's kind of trippy to think about it, I guess. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you, and then Luna took your body to the 6th room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's, not Schrodinger's. Get it right, old woman.
Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
That's exactly what I was just saying. It's kind of trippy and it doesn't really make sense, but whatever. What? No, that's nuts!
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
Alright.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied.
Just...
He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
What? I mean, he's like... He looks like me. Doesn't he?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
What do you mean you never seen him?
Me either.
Have I not looked in the mirror this whole time?
Total stranger.
What? Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Right here. Same face?
Are you alright, Mr. Sigma?
Oh shit, what do I look like?
Did you hit your head or something?
Oh shit. I remember actually, I don't know if I've ever brought this up, but I remember watching I think it was Nico B's Let's Play. I was watching part of it where he noticed that when everybody was looking at the screen the Zero Jr. was talking on, he pointed out, I think, it's like, why don't they bother showing Sigma in these pictures? It shows the rest of them. I mean, they might as well show Sigma. We already know what he looks like. Maybe that's why they never show him. That's kind of funny. I don't think I ever brought that up, but he did. Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Okay, so this is a plot twist I didn't see coming. The question is, what do I look like? Because depending on what I look like, that changes whether it's a minor plot twist or a major one. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time.
But it can also jump through bodies, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
Okay. What does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future.
Wait what? Are you saying I look like an old man now? Whoa, okay, let me see if I can figure this out. Let me see if I can figure this out. So, Sigma, in the past, was put into cold storage. Or wait, no. Sigma was never put into cold storage. Sigma lived out his life. And he developed the AB project after I jumped my consciousness back into the past, I guess. And then, so I guess the picture we saw of Sigma in the hologram is exactly what he looks like right now, maybe. Maybe? Like, he looks ish like that? Maybe he made that hologramic projection to me. And then he erased his own memories, I suppose. That is kind of trippy. But that would make things make sense, actually. Because I was saying, so does Sigma have to somehow go back in time to, grow up as Zero Senior? But no, he already grew up as Zero Senior and then just erased his own memories. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Cool. It makes sense. But now we have to go back in time again to stop the thing from ever happening, I guess? Or something like that. Anyways, let's keep moving.
From 45 years ago.
I looked around frantically. A pond! I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. You know? Remember when I said, would you really not notice the key on your ankle? Would you really not notice that you were completely, 45 years freaking older? Did he just keep himself in good shape or what? Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. Then slowly, I peered into the pond, looking for my reflection. Yep, thought so. What? No, this can't be real. So that's why I have robot arms now. I guess I lost my arms at some point. Maybe I lost my arms when I was trying to get rid of the reactors or something. Maybe. Meh. Would they have at least noticed that we're wearing the same shirt, maybe? They didn't even notice that. This can't be real. This face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb.
Oh shit, that's where the K comes from. Okay, cool.
Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now. Zero, the mastermind of the AB project.
So that's why he doesn't have a voice, maybe. All along, the voice we hear from Zero in that projection is the voice that he's been using this whole time, I guess? Which is why he's the only one who could have seen the projection, I suppose. But, so all along he's had a really cool voice, and I'm giving him my shitty one. Alright.
Is you.
Yeah, kinda knew that already. What? No, that's not possible! That's bullshit! If I hadn't already played the first game, and why wouldn't I have, then this might be a big surprise, but this is the same kind of shit as the first game. Which is why it's not, but I've already been over this, let's just get through it.
No. It's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor!
You will be. A pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying!
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
Create?
His name is Kyle Climb.
Okay, so he's my clone. You know, can he just be a son? Nah, I guess not.
Your clone.
Maybe that's why we never learned Sigma's last name. Why is she still talking?
That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones.
Which is why he always wears the suit.
But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it. It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare.
But I already know that I don't need a spare, right? Or what?
If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place.
So I was creating a countermeasure, even though I knew there wouldn't need to be a countermeasure? So are we ever going to learn something that's a plot twist? Like a real plot twist?
I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before.
Like, learning who brother really is might be a real plot twist, because I don't have a clue.
That isn't all they mean, though.
Okay.
The A also means anima, and the B means body.
Okay.
Anima is another word for the soul, or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project.
So you created the time loop so that the nonary game could exist. The issue is, when do we save the world from Radical 6? Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Whoa. Is this telling me the time directions or whatever?
Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
That is trippy. Alright.
A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028.
Okay. You kidnapped me? For what reason at that point? Premonition?
You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness.
Okay.
From there, you jumped to B.
Alright.
January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9.
Alrighty then.
You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old.
That's fun.
Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future.
Neat.
I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity.
Oh, okay.
The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out.
Okay. But what does that have to do with the Radical 6? Because does that play into effect at all? Or, yeah, whatever.
Moving on. If you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C. which is January 27th, 2074.
Okay.
That is today.
Alright.
Whoa, wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten?
Oh, shit! Right, it's been 36 hours since we woke up because time has been moving at a different rate for us. That's right. So even though it feels like it's only been, you know, several hours, might have felt like it's been several hours, right? But it's actually been, what, 6 times as much as what we think it is? Something like that? Or no, not quite that much. 2.5 times as much? Whatever. The point is, it's longer than we think it is.
You are all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed.
Neat.
But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes.
That's kind of cool.
Now comes the important part.
I mean, it's cool and all that I don't see the exposition coming, like all the little nitty bits, but I've seen all the important parts coming still. And that's what's important. So, yeah.
After this, your consciousness will return to the past.
Okay.
It will re-emerge at point D.
Alright.
April 13th, 2029.
Alright.
You will return to your younger body.
Okay.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Uh-huh.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened.
Okay.
The story does not end there, however.
Okay. Then what's the point of going there at all? Why can't we just go further back first?
The line continues.
Man, why does it have to be so complicated? I guess there is a reason, but we'll find out what that is eventually.
After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B.
Do I live out that part of my life? Oh shit, that'd be crazy. I live out the second half of 50 years and then go back and then live out the first half? That would be fucked up.
But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal.
So I'll create the AB project. But then after that, I'm gonna jump back again. Before my consciousness switches, I'll jump way back. Oh my god, why? Why does it have to work that way? And then the red dot is probably the decisive split. I either go to D, which means I'll just come back from... Basically, I get what this is saying. It's going to create an alpha and a beta world line. Steins speak, again. So I'm going to come back here, and there's going to be a decisive split. If I can somehow stop the Radical 6 from spreading, we go here. We get a different path line, that everybody's happy, everybody wins the world, and nobody dies, Radical 6 doesn't happen. But if it doesn't happen, then I go up here, and then I jump back in time, way up here, to after, basically after I jump back in time from here to here, after I jump back in time, my consciousness from here will be jumping into there to fill in the time that I would not be having. However, this time won't ever exist if I make the switch here. That'll never exist, never happen or whatever, and then, yeah. And then I'll go here. I guess, actually it kind of makes sense when they show it like this. I was gonna say, but then why do they have to make it like work like this? But no, it kind of makes sense, because they have to go back partway first to make the Nonary project happen at all. Because if he goes back all the way to try and make the Nonary project happen, then it doesn't really fully make sense. Like, why would he bother doing that? I don't know. No, yeah, it makes sense. He has to go back and make the Nonary project happen, and then go back all the way to make the switch, and if he fails at making the switch, if he fucks up at making the switch, then he just reverts to this part, and then he tries again, maybe? Or does he just fuck up for good? I don't know. That's a good question. Anyways, let's just let the game explain.
Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body until you reach point B. Do you remember when B is Sigma?
Yeah. January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma.
Okay.
So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
It jumped back into the past. Again? Or something? Yeah. Point A. December 25th, 2028, the day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
Else when, more like it. Go on. But once that body reaches the point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C. Confusing, ain't it?
That's correct.
Unless we change timelines, go to the beta world line as it is, and switch it so the rhizome thing, whatever, never happens, or... Yeah, basically. Radical 6, to be more precise. But rhizome, I guess, wouldn't happen either. Or would it? I don't know.
When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
If that happens, I guess we failed, right? So it's rotating.
Rotating? I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely.
There's a big diversion. Diversion? Yeah, that's the right word. Diversion is probably a better way to say it, though.
What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path.
There's a big split, though.
With one exception.
This line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A.
Okay. So I'm assuming we're not going to have to play out the 45 years between D and B. So are we going to jump straight to point A? Or something?
If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out by jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028. What about Phi? How does she play into this?
Yes.
Wait, when was Phi abducted? If she was abducted before me, then maybe she could have been the one in the Zero costume who kidnaps me, maybe. I don't know.
That is why this line could not be interrupted.
Alright.
In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D.
Yeah, makes sense.
In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point.
Okay.
so that we might save humankind from destruction.
Okay. Kinda complicated, but I think I get it.
And undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's gonna trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
Okay.
Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6.
Great.
All that remains is to launch your consciousness.
Alright.
Like a bullet from a slingshot.
And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
What? Where are we going with this?
That can jumpstart your brain.
Where are we going with this? What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out.
What?
I mean this.
What? Dio's knife! You did have that. But what are you gonna do with it? No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Fine! What? You ungrateful bitch! I don't care if it's all part of the plan. Fuck you! I gave my life, it's her turn. What? I screamed and leapt toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving toward Fi's chest. I was almost there. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. I died. The end. Except my consciousness leapt back. Because this consciousness is the future consciousness from when I failed, I guess? Something like that, maybe? I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui ego eris. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Don't you dare give me ending credits. Don't you fucking dare. This isn't... No. What? Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? What? And they're showing all this fancy shit too. So, what? Who is this? Is there still gonna be a true ending? Is this just a Fi ending and there's still a true ending? Maybe? Maybe? Hopefully. I really hope so. Because there still feels like there's stuff we don't know. And I definitely want to see that, you know, in-between part or whatever. You know, the part where we actually save the world. I've heard that there might be a third game in the series. If this is a big cliffhanger, okay, I guess. But as far as I know, the third game isn't out. But, so I hope it's not a big cliffhanger. The first game didn't have one, so hopefully this game doesn't have one. Hopefully? Yeah? Yeah, because it feels like, yeah, this definitely can't be the end. Maybe it is a big cliffhanger, but the way they were talking about Brother, because she was like, that's not important for now, let's leave it aside. Like, it feels like he's important. Like, there's something going on with him. Maybe that's what the third game will be. I don't know. Maybe the third game will be I jump back in time to my consciousness where we have to try and stop Particle 6, and maybe that's the third game. That would be trippy, because technically that would take place before the second game, even though to me it wouldn't. But, yeah. So, that would be something. Well, maybe there's a true ending. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. If this is the end of the Let's Play, you know, I'm gonna wait before I say this is the end of the Let's Play. I don't know yet. If it is, I'll give my big speech afterwards. But, yeah. Okay. Oh, shoot! A new destination's been added to the flowchart. Thank God. Thank God this isn't like the ending. So there's a true ending. Good. Time after time. Alright, so we're not quite at the end of the game yet then. Oh shit, yep. We get to go even further back. Okay. Headquarters, April 13th, 2029. Whoa.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6.
Oh shit.
So have my... Excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague.
And that is today, I guess. Sort of.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Goodbye! So long! You seem like a nice newscaster. For a moment, I just stared at the TV. The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room, until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. Oh shit! It's Zero! Who's this gonna turn out to be? Fi or Akane? Which one? One of them, right? You. Akane! Okay, that's who it is. So how does Fi play into all this?
It looks like the first step was successful.
So this is Akane's voice. Okay, take this in. This is not what I expected when I played the first game. I had a lot of voices in my head about how they'd sound, and I don't think this is one of them. But, okay, I'll bite. When I first heard Clover's voice, I was like, no, that is not right. And now I've grown used to it, so, I mean, I guess that's just how it is. What the fuck? You killed me!
Killed?
I guess, technically, you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still!
Hey, no need to be rude about it.
What? How do I not be rude about it?
I didn't kill you.
Are you sure?
I hit you with the butt of a knife. You're fine.
Oh, how do you know? Stupid premonition bullshit. Like, we're talking about this like she's also experienced it. But it's different for her, because her consciousness doesn't jump, she just has premonitions. So, I mean, is it different? I think it's different. I'm pretty sure it's different. Like, this whole morphogenic field thing is kind of weird, because, like, for some people, I guess it works differently than others, but meh. Okay. So good to know that in the future, 45 years from now, you hit me with the butt of the knife, not the regular knife. So once I live out the 45 years, and I go back to my old body, if we fail, then I'll still be alive. Although, does it really matter? Because by that point we'll have failed. But hey! I'm okay?
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Alright, fine. Well, I'm here now. What about Phi? Like, what's going on with her in this timeline? We never found out even when she was kidnapped, or what she does. Me and Phi?
Yes. I only told you about you, but
But?
we also needed Phi to jump.
What's her purpose? What is she even doing in this time right now?
Now, you know what happens next, right?
What? The bombs go off around the world or something? We go to the moon?
Correct.
Oh, has the bombs thing already happened?
We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle.
Okay.
Only a few last-minute checks and additions.
This is still so weird, but alright.
You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
She's just taking it in stride. Okay, yeah, so 3 treatment pods. That means it's Alice, Clover, and Phi would be in there. The 3 ladies. Well, there were supposed to be 4, but Luna was a robot, so yeah. All the ladies were the ones that were knocked out. Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the 3rd one? Who's in there?
Phi.
I think that'd be obvious.
We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen.
What? Wait, your headquarters? Who the fuck do you work for?
That wasn't the Phi who had jumped from point C, though.
Oh?
It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D.
Phi from before she jumped from point A to point D. What? What?
In other words, she was following the same path you are.
Oh, okay. But wait, what? Phi from before she jumped from point A to point D. Is that a typo? Because it's supposed to be point A to point B. And then we go to C, and then C comes around to D. Wasn't Phi who would jump from point C, though. Yeah, that was definitely a typo, I think. But, if she's following the same path I am, okay, I guess, but she seems a lot less important, all things considered. Meh.
And she still is.
Okay. Then that means after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body? So why did she volunteer to have herself frozen? What is your headquarters? We need to know things.
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod.
Is she just going to continue to sleep there until the Nonary game starts? Because she has a lot less lively life than me if that's the case.
She'll stay there for the next 45 years.
And then what? Wash, rinse, repeat?
Sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right? Oh. Okay. I guess that's how it works.
Correct.
Oh yeah, she is following the same point as me, but... So for her, it'll be like instantaneous, basically. I mean, minus maybe dreaming or whatever, but... A lot of the time when people sleep, I mean, sometimes they have dreams, other times they don't, and it's just like... Or I guess, I think there's a theory out there that, like, you're always dreaming. Like, you're never not dreaming when you're asleep. It's just whether or not you remember them when you wake up. So, like, I guess there's the idea that some people remember their dreams better than others. So for some people, it feels like, you know, a lot of time passes when they sleep. And other people, it's, like, instantaneous. So for Vi, I guess it depends on how good she is at remembering her dreams. Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. Well, duh. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods too? Because I have to be the one to develop it.
We can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Gee, I get the best job. Sigh.
After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines.
Oh, that's great. I could not imagine being Sigma in this situation, like, getting told you have to do this shit. I mean, you got 45 years, sure, but, I mean, damn, 45 fucking years you gotta do this. Like, it takes 45 years, apparently, so, I mean, it's this weird feeling of, do I have 45 years because that's how long I take to do it, or do I have 45 years and, wait, it's like, it's this weird thing of, do I take it slow, or am I going fast and I still take 45 years to do it, or, like, wait, I don't get it, but, I don't know, I couldn't even imagine, being told I have to do something like this, but I'd much prefer to be a pod person, but, hey.
Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph.
Alright, why Lagomorph anyways? There's probably some reason for that, but I don't know what it is.
And of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets.
Does this really take 45 years? I mean, really? I mean, I'm sure Lagomorph is kind of hard to program or whatever, but I don't develop golems, do I? I mean, I know I develop Luna, but do I develop all the golems, or... I don't know. Like, do I develop Golem? Is Golem my creation? Like, the birdie guy, is he my creation? Because if he is, that's cool, but I don't know if he is or not.
You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Because, how could I be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark? Tenmyoji would know what I look like then, wouldn't he?
Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074.
It's a lot of fucking work.
You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out.
Okie dokie. That's already happened, though.
And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
And then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die.
Well, they already have died in this timeline. What were you doing? If you had these premonitions, why couldn't you just do something about it? Can we get an explanation on that? or maybe you got your premonition too late, or... Well, you kidnapped me well before the thing happened, didn't you? So... I don't know. Maybe you had, like, a partial premonition, and you didn't get the whole thing until it was too late? Maybe. I don't know.
Only you and Phi can save them.
Well, that's just great. What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own.
Oh, really?
If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
Okay, that's not really an explanation, but okay. So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? Something has just crossed my mind. I wonder if this is the same voice actor. It could be. Like, you know, just playing the character differently. But, if it's not, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it is, it could be, I guess. Nah. It'd be cool if it was the same voice actor. Good acting, I guess. But, good range. When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we gonna do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
Alright. And after that?
I don't know.
Well, that's great. What a well thought out plan. We're planning 45 fucking years of my life for this shit. And we don't even know what to do once we get there. This is all prep work. I have to waste 45 years on making sure I can actually complete the cycle so that I can actually attempt to save the world. But then once I actually get to the point where I can attempt it, we don't have a slightest clue of how I'm going to save the world? Like, what the fuck? What?
I'm sorry.
Didn't have that premonition yet? Damn it.
I really don't know anything about what happens in there.
Well, that's inconvenient.
We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Super. Aw, crap. Then we're screwed!
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds.
I suppose.
We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility.
Alright.
Things will be difficult.
Okay.
And I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger.
Okay.
But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Oh my god, this totally sounds like it's another whole fucking game. Is it really gonna to be continue on a cliffhanger? I'm predicting it will at this point, honestly. If the sequel's not out, I'm gonna be so mad, like, cause I kinda wanna see where this goes, but nah. Wait. How do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened.
Wait, what? What?
He wasn't able to stop the virus.
Oh, I see. So, that's the timeline where I fail. So does it go on endless loop? Or wait, no. So in the timeline where I fail, I get to that point, and then what? Do I jump back? I will jump back to the point where, after I got stabbed by the butt of the knife. By that point, is it too late? Or do I get another chance, or what? I don't even know. Nah.
So, I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
Alright. But you believe I can do it anyways, even though I already fucked it up. What did I say?
That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point. A woman's life was in danger.
Okay.
You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms, and your right eye.
I see, and this woman was who? Fi, or somebody else? My arms and my right eye. What the hell?! Oh. Oh, that's right. That's already happened. Okay, yeah. What the crap?! Suddenly a low rumble shook the building. What was that?
Go have a look.
The bombs? I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? Well, I mean, we don't have to stop the bombs. We just have to stop the virus from getting out. The whole butterfly effect thing. But, still, I mean, we don't know what that's like. And all we know now is that apparently there's a bunch of traps that caused me to lose my arms and my eyes. So, it doesn't sound that easy either, but easier than stopping the bombs, I'm sure. No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared. I always do that. When I read stared, I tend to say started. And I'm like, it kind of works, but it's not the same word. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. And what? The end? Or something? Oh my god, please say no. Don't do it yet. End or beginning? Fire and ice? Akane end, I guess. Is that it? Is the game over? What? Wee-oo, scene transition. Hey everybody, Renegade 68 here from the future. Up until now, you've been watching the past of the Renegade 68s. But yeah, I'm the present now day Renegade. Hell, I think I'm recording this the same day it's getting uploaded. I haven't done that in a long time. But, yes, so you just finished watching the finale, sort of Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. Now, immediately after I recorded that, I went straight into looking at the gold files without any thoughts or anything. I do give thoughts after I read the gold files, but I thought it'd be weird to just end it there. So, I also want to go over a couple things before I end this video. In the next video, I will be covering the gold files and then giving my final thoughts, quote unquote, on the game. That'll be part 73, and then that would be the end of the Let's Play. If my me of my past was correct in how much was actually in this game, and I was not. If anyone's played this game before and is watching this, which is probably most of you, you'll know this is not quite the end. However, the only way to really know that it's not the end is to look at your trophy list, which I usually don't even think about doing, and I didn't. So, at the end of 73, I gave my final thoughts, acted as if that was the end of the Let's Play, and then proceeded to look the game up on TV Tropes, as you do, and read a couple entries that mentioned things I was not aware were in the game. And then I put the dots together in my head and realized that there was more, and then I found out how to get the more, and then I did the more in part 74, which will be the last video in the series LP thing. And then after I do the extra stuff that's there, I'm going to give you my more current final thoughts, which is going to be a thing I'm doing, I guess, now. It's just a thing. I did it in Danganronpa, I'm doing it in this as well. I'll give more updated final thoughts now that I've went through the game again through editing it. Also, thoughts going into Zero Time Dilemma, which is coming out in a couple months. But, yeah, so that'll be 74. So, yeah, in case you're curious about why I'm doing the gold files first. So yeah, 73 will be up tomorrow, pretty much for sure. 74, we'll see. It'll probably come out faster if I get more feedback, because I like feedback. I mean, obviously, it depends on how long it takes to edit, and also how lazy I feel like being, but also feedback. Because when I get feedback, I like, oh, I want to get more feedback on my later videos, see what they have to say about that, so I upload quicker. But, so for the first time ever, I will say, make sure to leave a like, favorite, comment, and rate this video 5 stars. And if you're unable to rate this video 5 stars, well, then you're not trying hard enough. However, whether or not you can successfully rate it 5 stars, this is the end of the video, and the end of the LP, sort of. So, I will see you guys in my next couple bonus videos, or my next LP if you decide the other stuff in this game isn't worth it. But either way, either, I will see you guys next time. Until then, even though I've been LPing for over 7 years, I am still not smart enough to have come up with an outro phrase. See you then. Bye-bye.